like I like when you did it short. That was good. One thing is just like a hard line, so I don't have all the.
I can do that. Oh yeah, on both sides, or yeah, I got you. Oh, yeah. And then fade the sides and everything like that.
Hey, you know, I was gonna say, you can raise it. I don't mind if it goes down to.
Yeah, I can do that. I got you on.
That's fine. I like the.
Oh yeah, that'll be sick.
Short, cause I got Christmas parties and shit with my girlfriend. So.
I got you much. And the quick question: do you want any off the top?
Yeah, you can take some off. I mean, not too much. I like it a little longer, but it needs to be trimmed. It's just too long. I can like put it in a ponytail so long. But you can leave some length. You know, it just needs a good trim. You know, to where if I was gonna like do like a palm, you know what I'm saying?
I'll take an inch off.
Yeah.
Just because it needs a better trim than just.
But see, if I had a camera guy, then we could see more with like, then we go off and all that shit. You know, then I don't have to necessarily worry about just focus on I got a funny these things.
Yeah, I can't tell you what was it, September? Yeah, it's like early September. See how fucking fast it goes.
And so what's new with you?
I bought a house.
Oh,
my
sick.
girlfriend bought a badass house.
Oh, nice.
Over here in Uptown, like over by Comanche in Wyoming, pretty close here.
Nice.
A little north of here.
How many bedrooms?
4.
Oh wow, so big house.
Yeah, that was big house. She's a commercial realtor, my girlfriend.
Yeah.
So like a realtor, but she deals with like business realty, you know.
Yeah, commercial real
But,
estate.
yeah. So
Like my building for a shot. Like if I want to buy a building or whatever, I just, you know.
and she's gorgeous there, man. She's Puerto Rican. She's from New York. She used to dance on Broadway and ballet in New York and stuff. And so I'm a dance teacher, so that's how we met. But she hasn't done that in years. This is what she does now, you know. But it's crazy because she's my age. She's in her 40s, but damn, if she doesn't have the body of like a 20-year-old dude, I'm like, Jesus Christ.
Oh wow.
Like, I gotta hang on to this one.
Wait, so are you guys married?
No, but we live together.
Oh nice.
We bought a house because I had my condo and then she had her condo, and so, and she's a she's a genius when it comes to that stuff like property and buying and selling property and things.
How much did you guys
When her
get there?
parents died, they left her a bunch of property, you know. But see, where she doesn't, you know, where she has trouble, where she has to spend a lot of her money, she doesn't know shit about fixing shit. She's a girl, you know. She don't, you know. So she's had a lot of contractors and shit screw her over the years, you know. Especially in this state, you know. And so that's what she loves about me is now you don't have to, the only thing I can't do is plumbing. We have to call a plumber because I'm not legally allowed to touch it, you know. But so now I take care of all the properties, and you know she doesn't have to worry about that shit anymore. And if I have to call somebody for something, she likes that like I can smell bullshit way better than she can when it comes to that shit, you know. But you know, she's just a little like 5'4" dancer, you know.
Oh wow.
Petite little thing, so she didn't like having to deal with all that shit.
And so what does she do? Oh, she does commercial real estate and everything?
Yeah.
That's pretty good. And so what about you? Are you still instructing and everything?
Oh yeah. Yeah, but it's getting to where like we have this 1 3-bedroom house that we own up on the north side on Paseo. And when we do Airbnb, you know, we can rent it out for like $250 a night because it's a 3-bedroom house, you know. And so when you have a piece of property like that that's generating, you know, $4,000 or $5,000 a month. It's like, dude, I'm sorry, but I don't have time for dance. I gotta put my focus on the thing that generate. You know, I still teach, but I only have my clients that, that spend a lot of money. Honestly, if they don't, I don't really have time for kind of the piddly shit, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So I still dance, but only I kind of can do it on my terms now. I don't necessarily have to do it for a living as much anymore. Yeah, it's nice. It's cool. In our house, we have like a den and a living room thing going on, and so we turned one of them into a dance studio.
Oh, that's pretty cool. Oh, yeah. So you can just do it right out of the house.
Yeah. That's why. It's like I don't have to go pay floor fees somewhere, or I can just teach right out of my house. It's not gonna have like that hard line, is it?
What, you fade?
Yeah.
No.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, this is just how I start the razor fade and everything
Oh,
else
yeah.
differently. Because when it's not like razor fade, I'll just blend right up or whatever. When it's a razor fade, I'll just section it real quick and then blend it.
Yeah.
Damn, so how much was the house?
Well, I pay about nine. We looked at because we both had our own condos we lived in, but it was like, okay. But after a while, it's like I'm always crashing at your place or you're over at my place, and with my daughter and everything, it's like let's just. Why are we paying two rents and 2 electric bills and 2 Netflix bills or whatever? It's like why are we doing that? It's stupid, So we just decided to get out, and we don't like leasing. We don't like renting. Neither of us do. It's like my dad used to say: you pay your own mortgage or you pay somebody else's. It's up to you. So we decided to buy a house together.
Okay, but how much was the house?
The house we bought,
Yeah.
$450,000.
Oh, yeah, that's a good deal.
Oh yeah.
Goddamn.
Our mortgage is about $2,100 a month. But we both had a $900 mortgage, so what's the difference?
Nothing.
We just pay. And we got a badass house there. We're over right in the middle of Uptown, really nice neighborhood. That's why we were able to get so much house for our money, because usually people looking to buy a $500,000 house, they aren't looking in that area. So we found a really nice house. Kind of over there, where the Pokey Pokey is? That restaurant?
No.
Comanche in Wyoming?
That's
There's
not
that
really
little sushi.
Uptown, though, is it?
Yeah. Well, I guess
When I
so.
think Uptown, I think you mean like Indian, small Louisiana.
Well, the area. I'm not uptown, but I don't know what you would call that thing. Comanche in Wyoming.
Nothing, just Northeast Heights.
Just Northeast Heights, right? Yeah, I guess it is far enough north, because it's north of Comanche. So, Montgomery, that's Northeast Heights. It's in between Comanche and Montgomery. So, it's nice though. I like it.
And that's a good price.
Yeah.
Like, that's cheap.
Well, they asked for $475, but when you're dating a realtor, they're good at that shit.
How much did you guys end up paying?
$450.
Oh yeah, that's good. Damn.
Just under a $500,000. See, where I won't go to the west side. Fuck that.
Yeah.
But I know you can get a lot of house for your money out there. But fuck all that. Fuck all that.
Yeah,
I don't. I got a teenage daughter, and then I got my cats and the dog. So,
Yeah.
So we got 3,200 square feet. We got 4 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms. two living in, big ass backyard, right there off Wyoming. But that's another reason, because our backyard backs up to Wyoming.
Oh yeah.
But I got a big old stone wall, so I don't give a shit. Doesn't fuck. And when you live in big cities, that kind of shit just doesn't.
I wouldn't mind if it backed up to
I don't give a
Wyoming.
shit, dude. I mean, it's just you know what I mean, because you're from you've lived in big cities too. It's just not that big a deal. Honestly, I kind of like the city noise. It puts me to sleep.
But you can get right there onto the street is another good thing.
Yeah, it's just right there. I'm like close to anywhere right there. I can get to 25 or down to 40 real quick. If you need a good realtor, like I'll give you my girlfriend's card, man. She's badass. Well,
when I want to buy a commercial place, I'll call you.
Her, yes, for her, yeah. But I'm saying for residential, she don't do that no more. But
No.
she'll point you in the right direction if you want a good residential realtor too. One of her good buddies, Alex, he's really good.
Oh, nice.
He'll help you out. That's what I always try to teach my daughter too. It's like go in there with cash in hand. Don't worry about your credit so much. I mean, don't do stupid shit, but you walk in there with like 10, 15% down, they're gonna give you a house. The bank's gonna give you that.
Oh really?
Oh yeah. Because just money talks, man.
Yeah.
You go in there. I
I
always
should
pay
be able
more.
to get that house for sure.
Yeah, because what did you say? 5% was 36,000.
Yeah, 5%.
So you go in there with like 50 or 40? Oh yeah, no problem.
Yeah. Then I should be able to get in there no matter what.
Less than 20% of your income goes to your debts. Living expenses, that doesn't matter. Like your apartment or whatever. But as long as you don't keep a lot of credit cards and shit, dude, you're golden. My wife and I bought my first house. We paid $130,000, and then when we sold it for $195,000.
Yeah.
And when I went in there to buy that house, I went in there. All I needed was 55, because it was a cheaper house.
Yeah.
But I went in there with 15,000. And I got it. It made the process so much easier. No bullshit. They didn't give a fuck what I did, because I had so much down. The bank was all over it.
And is that a lot down?
For that price, it was.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's what I'm saying. If you went in there with like $50,000 or $60,000, they're not gonna give you any shit. The person I used to work for, she lives up there in Sandia Heights. They got a beautiful home up there. But they paid $825. About $825.
And where's Sandia Heights?
North, like west of Tramway and north of Paseo. All that area up in there.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Sandia Heights.
The east of Tramway.
Would you live up on the mountain? In Sandia Heights? Up on the foothills?
It depends.
Like
where-
west of Tramway? Like if it was like north of Academy.
Oh,
Yeah.
Well, that's
I
what.
mean, you
that's
don't want to
what
be
this
down
house
by
is.
Indian school or not. I mean, fuck all that.
No, I don't. It's like,
Yeah.
no, not. I mean, Indian school in Tramway is nice if you go east, but I don't want to be in that area over south.
When I
that
first
far.
moved here, that's how I found you. Like my condo was right over here off Dallas. But that was just one I leased, But once my daughter moved in with me, I wasn't there but another 5 or 6 months, and I'm like, fuck this, Because once I got custody of my daughter, I was like, okay, I'm getting a house. Fuck all this,
Yeah. I had to wait to give them 2 years of employment and everything since I own a business.
Yep.
So it's like this January will be the year that I'm ready to fucking, you know what I mean? But I'm glad I had to wait a little bit too because I saved up all that, cash and everything.
Yeah.
And I have no car payment and I don't have any bills other than the shop and everything. And it's fucking nothing. Well, they gotta make sure you're approved on based on what you make too.
Yeah, but see, and that's sometimes the difficult part when you're self-employed, because you don't get a 1040 from a boss. You are your boss, You know what I mean? And so your bank accounts, that is your income. That is how you prove your income. So that's why I would always go in with a little more, just to smooth that part over. The fact that I was self-employed. but I could also show that I had done what I'd done for the last, 15 years. So that made some big difference too. I'm not jumping around. You know what I mean?
I was getting more to the point of I only make $150,000 a year
Yeah.
compared to like, two people that are making that to
Right,
where it's,
right.
the showing them is easy just because I make it weekly, bi-weekly, monthly, yearly. They want to see 2 years, so it's like you can see
Yeah.
2 years of 150,000 each year.
Right.
That should yield you something,
Right.
and it might only yield you a $500,000 house. Who knows? We'll see once I run that all that shit. I'll go through the guild mortgage and just say, hey guys, this is the house I want. One day here tomorrow, so we here before I go to move in.
Do you have a restroom?
Yeah, it's right over here.
Yeah, that looks good, man. Good.
And it'll last way longer like that too, watch. This is already how we need it, like, so the top is crooked, the fade is even better.
Awesome.
Oops, sorry, you can see it better with the razor.
Thank you.
And if for some odd reason they're all, yeah, we're only gonna approve you for 500,000, and I'll put another 100,000 of my own money in, be in the $600,000 price range.
Right. And that kind of investment, man, it's always a good move.
Well, yeah, because if you spend 80,000 on a car,
Right, and then
in
all that shit does is lose value.
yeah.
So
So
with
it's
a
almost
house,
like-
you buy yourself a $700,000 house, and then suddenly in 10 years,
Exactly.
the fucker's worth
1.2.
1.8 million. Yeah, or even more. You're,
Well, see, that's where I thought about it and said, damn, if you bought an $80,000 car, you could have put that 80 down, you could have been in that house.
easily.
Because remember, you said, oh, sweeten it over, give him 50. I'd have sweetened it over and gave him 80.
There you go. Well, and because that takes your interest rate down,
House payment
everything.
goes down. It goes up to
And for me-
3,800 a month
Yep, exactly.
instead of 4,200.
Yep.
42
Yep,
is
yep.
the highest I would do. Because there's those other fees involved with that. It's going to be more like almost 5,000 when you're. That's where I say that's kind of pricey too. It's like.
And if I start teaching out of my house, I get to write off 25% of my mortgage every month.
Absolutely.
That's $500 a month I get to write off every month.
Right, that's, oh, yeah.
But that's the max you can under the law. If you work out of your home,
Yeah.
you can write up to 25% of it off. Mortgage every month.
Yeah, and you have a big enough house that you can, you can
Yeah.
teach out of.
Yeah.
Like,
I have
here's
a
the thing.
studio in my home.
I want to have a dope ass house because what if something ever happens here? I want to be able to cut, as well. Fucking.
That's what
If I
my
had to, it's like shit,
that's what my cousin does. She's a hairdresser. She's a barber in Austin.
And she has a spot out of her house.
Well, since COVID, she's like, fuck going back and renting a chair, dude.
That's okay.
She goes to her clients' houses now.
Yeah.
Cuts her hair in their kitchen. Don't have to fucking give nobody any money. She says, I'm never going back. So I make more money this way. My clients love it because I can come to their house at 10 o'clock or whenever.
Yeah.
I'll come cut their hair whenever they want.